Hey everybody, Adam Savage here in my cave, and that is my new compressor. It's in a nice soundproof box, soundproof. I've made it much quieter. My old compressor was fine. It did its duty for 15 years, but it could never really keep up with any process that used a bunch of air. When you buy a compressor, it will advertise that it has a certain amount of cubic feet per minute output. And for the longest time, the companies that make compressors have been lying and just telling you it's cubic feet per minute output under no load. And so you might have a tool that says it requires 30 cubic feet per minute to operate this tool. And you've got a compressor that says it puts out 35 cubic feet per minute. But as soon as you put it under the load of the tool, it's like delivering like 15 cubic feet per minute. So I went and bought this compressor, which specifically states that it will put out 18 and a half CFM at 100 PSI. That is exactly what I need to keep up with at least my Fuse media blaster for my SLS system. That was the primary reason to upgrade, but I've been needing and meaning to upgrade for a long time for all the other reasons. Your compressor shouldn't be running all the time. I was trying to think of another way to frame that, but like if you've watched the channel a lot or my live streams, my compressor was going off a bunch, and it's because I had a leak in the system, and then I solved it. I didn't solve it. Actually, my assistant Veronica solved it. She found the leak and figured out what it was. Amazing. And now I've got another leak. And what it means is that this is fire. Now, this is it's a good compressor. This one, when it fired up to recharge itself, would go for like 10, 15 minutes. This one goes for less than 2 minutes. Boom, it's really fast. But I don't want it to be going off all the time. I want this to pump into a system and to stay sealed. I've got to find the leak. Now, let's talk about this leak. I have a single line that comes all the way across the shop up here and terminates up here. Woo, can you hear that? Can you hear that? Yeah, so there's my leak. It's slow, but it's noisy. Now, I could go up there and sort of like spray some soapy water, go look for that leak. I could go up with, do I have them here? Yes, I could go up there with a mechanic's stethoscope and point this little business end to go find the leak. But today I am using a fundamentally different device, one I have never used before, one that I didn't even know existed until we started doing some stuff with Fluke, the makers of many of my favorite tools. In fact, I said this in another video, but it is worth saying in this video, like, that is my first multimeter, a Fluke 77. I bought this in 1993 for $70. $70 was a lot of money for me to spend back then, but they were much more expensive retail. And that multimeter, my Fluke multimeter, still works. So the Fluke Yellow has a warm and dear place in my heart. And we were chatting with Fluke about doing some videos. Maybe you've seen our thermal imaging video. And I was like looking at what Fluke makes, and we were chatting back and forth about stuff that I could play with. And they were like, have you heard of an acoustic imager? And I was like, no, tell me more. And they turned out to make this thing. Hold on, let me clamp us down, and then we can chat about this. That is the Fluke II910 acoustic imager. It uses a camera and an array of 60 plus microphones, and I haven't fired this thing up. Apparently what it can do, we're going to learn about this together. Apparently what it can do is you can point it at an array of stuff like some air hoses, and if there is a noise coming from a specific location, it will tell you where that noise is. I believe it does that by overlaying something onto the video, but again, I have not fired this thing up yet. These are an invention built for large industrial applications. Like if you have a power plant where electricity is coming in and you're distributing that electricity out, and you've got all these transformers. Well, transformers can fail in different ways, and they can buzz. And apparently you could point this at things distant, and it will tell you where the noisy one is. Also, if you're in a factory, I don't have access to a factory right now, but if you're in a factory and you've got a conveyor belt with a squeaky bearing, and on a factory floor, you don't want to shut stuff down to just find the problem. Shutting down is the last option, right? So this is potentially a way to go find that squeaky wheel to find out where you need to apply your oil. I'm going to use it today to find the air leak in my shop and any other air leaks. I'm going to walk through my whole air system and kind of just see if this can see any leaks. Okay, so I'm going to turn you around so you can see me, and I'll just start learning what I can. That is that battery. Goes in. Oh, only like that. Ah, I see. Nice. Lock. 3. Point to where you're looking and choose a color, I guess. All right. Let's see how we go. What? Okay. That's freaking cool. Hang on. I'm gonna get us into a better position here. Okay, so I can hear the sound, and I can hear it's coming from around here. So here's what happens when I point the acoustic imager at the sound. Look, it's highlighting it. Okay, so, I'm gonna get up on a ladder and take a closer look at this. But that is freaking cool. It's putting, sorry, when I yell. Yeah, okay. Wow. Oh, I think I see exactly. Hold on, let's get you the vision of this. Look at that. That's where my leak is. Amazing. All right, that was really cool. It turns out this is the culprit, this manifold. I know, I'm playing it fast and loose by daisy chaining a bunch of quick connects together. But I'm confident, because I've inspected the other end of this, that there's no leak on the blue line. So I might need to make myself a new manifold or just re-put this manifold back together. I might be able to just join some of these parts to themselves because, yeah, it's just a more positive grab. But Look, and also, I will be honest, this is a magnificently, ludicrously over-engineered solution to the problem of leaks in your air in your home shop. This is a crazy solution to it, but it is a solution. And, like, I love that Fluke was like, we think you'd have fun with this device. And I'm like, yes, I am. There is another thing that you can use this for, which is even more ludicrous than going to find a little leak in your air system. Look, here is where this can really come into play. You've got a big shop and you're running air along the ceiling and it's dropping down, and you don't want to take a ladder to every inch of the thing. You point this up there and it solves your problem in a very short order. You know exactly where to go. That is freaking cool. So it's not totally ludicrous for me to use it in here. It's just my shop is small, so I can get to pretty much everything. But there is one other application, well, not one other. There's another application that I heard about, and I just went to Valencia Cyclery to set it up. I'll meet you at my desk. Okay, so this, that's a bike tire. Sorry, a tube. This is a bike tube, a bicycle inner tube. I'll tell you that when I was a young man, I got flat tires all the time. And my local bike shop, Sleepy Hollow Bicycle, over there on Beekman Avenue, I was really lucky. We are a small town, but our bicycle shop was populated by these like bicycle nut jobs. And I mean that with the highest complimentary sound I can give it. These guys were like, you know, clomping around on wooden soled shoes and racing every weekend. They looked like extras from the movie Breaking Away. And by the way, if you haven't seen Breaking Away, it is one of the great movies and you will really enjoy it. You should go watch it. Early Dennis Quaid and Daniel Stern. Yes, right. Yeah, really early Dennis Quaid. See Dennis Quaid when he was younger than his son Jack is now. But anyway, I got a lot of flat tires, and the local bicycle savant geniuses at my bike shop eventually were like, we're going to teach you how to fix your flat. And they taught me how to use the tire irons to work your way around the tire, peel it off, pull out that, leave the tire halfway on the hub, get your old tube out, put the new tube in, thread it, get it in, semi-fill it, get it all so you get all the kinks out, and then pop the tire back in. And I have repaired hundreds and hundreds of bicycle tires in my lifetime since then. And look, sometimes you just buy a new tube because they're like $5, right? So look, one of your main solutions to fixing a flat is to go get a new tube and just replace it. But those among us that are thrifty will repair our tubes, and that requires a patch kit. Where did I put my... There it is. There's your little patch kit. Ah, the reassuring teal of the bicycle patch kit. So we're gonna. I get ahead of myself. So I just went up the street to Valencia Cyclery, where I've been shopping for bicycles and bicycle parts for over 35 years. And I just asked for a tire from the garbage, and they gave me one. So this has a leak somewhere in it, and we're going to repair it. But here's the best part. You already figured this out, right? How we're going to find the leak. Yeah, man. We're going to find the leak with the acoustic imager. So let's turn this on. Okay. Yep. That's protective. Thing. I don't need this yet. I do want to fill this tire up. So we have a leak somewhere here. Now, I have done all the various methods to find leaks. I have filled my sink full of water, which takes a lot of water, and shoved this underneath to find the bubble stream. I have also used soapy water, which is an excellent way to find it because it creates little bubbles. I've also used come on. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, that's neat. Okay, so Oh! Okay. It seems that the imager needs a certain amount of distance to work out its triangulation. So I'm going to try and connect this to so that you can see what I see. Can you see what I see? What is this? This is what you get when you search DeWalt battery. This is a foreign product made to look like a DeWalt product, and it fills tires. So here we go. There it is. See that? There is my leak. Okay, let's just, let's see here. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to localize that. All right, so I'm going to localize that. That's amazing how quietly that can find it. It's right there. Okay, here's something else really cool. It can detect the noise. See that? That part is blowing my mind. That it can sense this leak. This little leak, there it is. I can feel it, but it could detect this leak over the sound of this. I'm not even sure how that works. They said it can find the squeaky wheel. But I was kind of sure that wasn't going to be so successful. Dude, aeronomy. That's amazing. I just love the idea that this is a sonic imager, an acoustic imager, and it's like, it's got to hear over. Incroyable. Amazing. Okay, let's repair this tire. Okay, we're gonna tooth up the rubber, give it something to hold to. We're gonna give it a little bit of glue. This is like a contact cement. Put that on. Goes on pretty wet. I'm gonna spread it around. Do a second application because I got a seam in here. And let's take a patch. let's fill this up for real. All right, so let's look at the repair. Oh yeah, you want to see the repair. There's our repair. No more sound. No more leaking. Wow. I'm beaming. This is so much fun. This is incredible. Really. There is some algorithm that takes the input from these 65 microphones. Oh, that's how you take a picture. I see. Power off. Okay. This thing is incredible. There is some amazing math going on in here. The idea that these 65 microphones can isolate this tiny little hissing sound over this. That's insane. That's incredible. And then it runs through some algorithmic process where it's able to put the color over the... Dude. I imagine that when this became available, there was a bunch of people in different industries who were like, thank goodness this has finally been invented. I can see a lot of different places in big halls and big shops where this can save you hours and hours of troubleshooting. I mean, you know, in a big industrial plant, you don't want to shut down for anything if you don't have to. I'm continually blown away that it could isolate that hiss. I know I continue to bang upon it. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining me for this show and tell of maybe the coolest piece of technology I've had here in the cave. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Acoustic Imagers for the win. Thank you, Fluke. Thank you guys for joining me. I will see you guys next time. Cheers.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to tell you about some brand new merch we have. One of my favorite things we've ever produced are our demerit badges, which are scout badges for messing things up, as we all do. They're bestsellers, and we started out selling them as patches, then we moved to stickers, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we have demerit badge magnets for your fridge or your machines, and we started out with a 4-pack of our greatest hits. You can find these right now at tested-store.com.